I'm going to call the meeting to order at 9:01. If you guys can please stand, I will lead you in the flag salute. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Yep.
City Clerk, can you take the roll, please?
Mayor Lopez,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra,
Here.
Councilmember Davis,
Here.
Councilmember Menke,
Here.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Do we have any changes to the agenda, City Clerk?
There are none.
May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Move.
I'll move. I'll second.
Motion by Councilmember Davis, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra to approve the agenda. I'll call the roll. Mayor Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra,
Yes.
Councilmember Davis,
Yes.
Councilmember Menke,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Now we will take public comment from members of the audience. If you would like to provide public comment through Zoom, please click the raise hand button. At this time, the public is encouraged to address the City Council on any matter that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. The public will also be given a chance to comment on matters which are on the posted agenda during City Council deliberation on those specific matters. Is there any public comment? Seeing that there are none, we will now go on to the consent calendar. All matters listed on the consent calendar are to be approved with one motion. Items may be removed from the consent calendar by any member of the council. Those items removed will be considered immediately after the consent calendar. Does council wish to pull any items from the consent calendar? Okay, is there any public comment for the consent calendar?
Mike, are you checking for raised hands?
Yes, there's no raised hands.
Thank you. I
Thank
can't
you.
see that for some reason.
Okay, may I have a motion for consent calendar item numbers 1 through 9?
Move.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Davis, seconded by Councilmember Gonzalez, I believe.
Yes.
Thank you. To approve the consent calendar. Mayor Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra,
Yes.
Councilmember Davis,
Yes.
Councilmember Menke,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We will now go on to new business, item number 10.
Item number 10 is Americans with Disabilities ADA Title II Self-Evaluation and Transition Plan. And Public Works Director Wall, along with some other people, will present the report.
The Federal Americans with Disabilities Act requires that each public agency evaluate its policies and practices to determine whether they are accessible to those with disabilities. Each public agency is required to adopt a transition plan that documents current conditions and outlines planned future accessibility improvements. To comply with this requirement, in August of 2019, Vernon entered into a services agreement with Sally Swanson Architects to prepare a citywide accessibility evaluation and transition plan. In November of 2020, with input from the public and city staff, Sally Swanson Architects completed the City of Vernon's first ADA self-evaluation report and transition plan. These documents identify current city policies, practices, and procedures related to services and activities, evaluating the existing condition of city facilities and public rights of way, and make the recommendations necessary to meet ADA requirements. Nico Sumowick, project manager, and Josh Klipp, policy specialist, both of Sally Swanson Architects, will be conducting a presentation regarding this project.
Good morning, council members. I believe my colleague Nico is going to share the screen. Great. Thank you, Nico. So my name is Josh Klipp. I am the ADA Policy Specialist for Sally Swanson Architects. And we're going to give you just a brief overview of the work that we have done here with the City of Vernon. Next slide, please. Brief agenda. We're going to just very quickly talk about the legal requirements of the ADA. Nico will describe the transition plan process, and I will discuss the self-evaluation process, and then we'll have time at the end for any questions and answers. So this slide describes why we have the ADA. I think a lot of us don't need to review any of this, but we know that the ADA turned 30 years old this year, and part of its importance, in addition to the items listed on this slide, social change, more returning veterans, an increase in senior citizens, and a need to do this in new planning and construction, is now also in the age of COVID, when we're going to have a lot more people who have what would qualify as a disability and pre-existing conditions. Next slide. This slide describes the city's responsibilities under the ADA as a Title II entity. So there's just the general prohibition against discrimination, which reads, and I'll read it in the event anybody attending this has any visual impairments, that no qualified individual with a disability shall, on the basis of disability, be excluded from participation in or be denied the benefits of the services, programs, or activities of a public entity, or be subjected to discrimination by any public entity. The bottom half of this, of this slide describes the ADA's legal mandates, which is self-evaluation, transition plan, an ADA notice of compliance, an ADA grievance system, and the appointment of a responsible employee for administering ADA-related programs. This slide describes the key components of a self-evaluation and transition plan. First, a survey of the built environment, a survey of programs, services, and activities, a plan for barrier mitigation, a schedule for barrier mitigation, and the appointment of a city official to administer the plan. And Nico's going to take it over from here.
Thank you, Josh. I'm Nico Samovic with Sally Swanson Architects. I'm going to talk a little bit about what we did for the city in terms of the physical portion of the ADA, which is the transition plan process. So this is where we actually inspected all the buildings that the city owns or leases, as well as all the public rights of way, all the sidewalks, curb ramps, pedestrian push buttons. And then we make alterations to provide program access. So we provide solutions and descriptions of the structural modifications that are necessary for ADA compliance, as well as a timeline for completing the work. So for facilities, we basically start with the exterior. If a person cannot access the front door of your building, they can't access any programs or services within the building. So we start with the exterior. This includes the entrance, any transit stops, any drop-off locations, parking, as well as site entry points. So any of the public rights of way paths that lead up to the building. And then next we go into the interior spaces of the building. So we look at all the program spaces, as well as supporting features such as restrooms and drinking fountains. And then for Title I of the ADA, we also looked at staff-only areas within all the facilities. So the transition plan update. The transition plan has been completed. We've conducted a survey on all the barriers within the city facilities, as well as the public rights of way, and created a transition plan. Moving forward, we've worked with the city to create kind of a funding and budget to commit to ADA improvements, as well as internal project review. And we identified current and future projects that might be happening in the future that we can kind of wrap the ADA mitigation in with, so we don't have to take separate funding for that. And then just the city will need to have ongoing tracking and monitoring of the transition plan. So when you view the transition plan, you'll see this is kind of what the reports look like. This is a screenshot directly from the transition plan. You could see we list the facility that the barrier was found in, as well as the item or the location name, such as men's restroom. And then we call out what the issue was. In the first one, it's cross slope here. We call out what was actually measured, And then we also call out any applicable codes, as well as an image and a conceptual cost estimate. We also provide the city with priority and severity scoring so that the city can kind of work on what barriers need to be improved first, and then what is a little bit, or barriers that are less hazardous to people that can maybe wait a little longer. So we help the city kind of prioritize the barriers. And then I think I'm going to hand it over back to Josh, who will take it the non-physical portion.
Yeah, thanks, Nico. So Nico did a great job of describing the fact that if you can't get in the front door, you can't avail yourself of the city's program, services, and activities. And that is what the self-evaluation looks at, is all of the ways that, not the physical environment, but all of the ways that we interact with one another. So, whether that is through hiring or whatever services the city engages in with its residents. So that's what the self-evaluation looks at. The surveys were put together by subject matter. So for instance, information technology or communications with persons who are deaf or hard of hearing, emergency services, that sort of thing. Those surveys were looked at. I created a self-evaluation report with recommendations that included also a work plan. And the work plan is effectively a living document with a little bit later. Go ahead, Nico. The self-evaluation is basically in the same place as the transition plan. The surveys were received and evaluated. A report has been drafted. Recommendations have been made. And we are here to finalize that with you, the City Council. It is important also that the city identify a grievance procedure and engage in ongoing tracking and monitoring of the implementation of that work plan. As promised, here is a look at what the work plan looks like. So you see on the left-hand side there, we've got the subject matter. So again, that was kind of subject matter by survey. Next to that is the recommendation. And then after that, you can use this as the living document. What date was this assigned to whom? What milestones have been reached? What are the due dates? Has there been training on this recommendation? If that was the recommendation, and any other notes you may want to keep. Right here is an example of the public input, the engagement that the city of Vernon implemented in terms of requesting public comment and input. So it looks like there was a form that was on the, I'm not sure, Nico, you might be able to tell me better, or maybe Margarita can say what this was put on sent out via email or put on the city's website. I don't know 100% for sure, but there was a public engagement period where comments were sought from the public.
Yeah, Josh, I can discuss this a little bit.
Oh, okay.
This is a flyer and a public comment form that we created for the city, and I believe Margarita actually went and handed it out physically herself, door to door, to the members that live in the community to request feedback from any community members. And I don't believe we did receive any feedback, but we did reach out to the public, and so it's important to include that in the transition plan to let anyone know that there was a chance for public comment. The city did go door to door to try to elicit comment from the public. So we did that, and we included all that in the transition plan in an appendice as well. So if there are any questions and answers, Josh and I can go over that now.
Does City Council have any questions? Are there any?
I have a
public-
question.
Okay, go ahead.
Dan, is there any way we can get some state grants or federal grants to help us with the transition, paying for the transition?
So we'll certainly look for grant funding. There's typically not a lot available for architectural changes. We may be able to get money for the right-of-way work, though. So for improvements at the buildings, those are pretty hard to come by. We'll certainly keep our eye out, though, and work to do that. I'm always looking for outside money to do any of the work here in the city.
Are there any additional questions? Are there any public comments? May I have a motion for item number 10?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra, seconded by Councilmember Gonzalez to adopt resolution number 2020-43, adopting the 2020 City of Vernon Americans with Disabilities Act Title II Self-Evaluation and Transition Plan. Mayor Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra,
Yes.
Councilmember Davis,
Yes.
Councilmember Menke,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. We will now go on to oral reports.
Good morning, Honorable Mayor and City Council members. On December 2nd, Vernon Police Department responded to assist LA County Fire to a business in the 4400 block of Downey Road regarding 2 subjects that were in full cardiac arrest from a possible nitrogen gas leak. Both subjects were declared deceased. Vernon Police Department officers took an industrial accident report, and the Vernon Health Department and Cal OSHA were notified and responded for further investigation. On December 4th, Vernon Police Department arrested a male in the 2500 block of Santa Fe for grand theft auto. On the same day, they responded to the 5700 block of Santa Fe regarding a single vehicle that crashed into a city power pole. The driver was arrested for driving under the influence. On December 5th, Vernon officers arrested a male in the 4900 block for grand theft auto. The stolen vehicle was also linked to a previous arson of a tractor in the 4300 block of Fruitland in November. The suspect was interviewed by Vernon detectives who were able to gather the arson confession from the suspect. On December 5th, officers located an elderly male in the 5400 block of Soto who had been reported missing by LAPD. The male was taken to his home with his family. And then on December 6th, officers arrested a male in the 2400 block of Santa Fe for grand theft auto. Pink Patch Project. The police department is proud to announce that the Pink Patch Project raised significant funds for the City of Hope in 2020. $275,000 to be exact. Below is a link, is a video presented by the City of Hope to thank the Pink Patch Project for its support and partnership and share some information with the organizers. Great work.
I think
Michael,
Mike
do you have
prepared
the do you have the link by any chance?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
For the video?
Yes.
Yes, 1 second.
Hello, friends. I'm Robert Stone, and I have the privilege
Sorry?
of serving as City of Hope's Chief Executive Officer. We want to take a moment today to thank
Mike, can you put it a little bit louder, please?
Yeah.
support of the Pink Patch Project. It's always a highlight for me.
Is that better?
to welcome you to our campus, and I regret that we
No.
can't be
Little.
celebrate this year. But I'm confident
Not really.
campaign. But first, I want to take a moment to personally thank Chief Miranda, the Los Angeles County Police Chiefs Association, and each of you working in public safety throughout Southern California and the country. These are truly unprecedented times, especially for those of us working on the front lines of public health and safety. I'm grateful for all that you do to strengthen our communities, and that includes your unwavering support for City of Hope. This year marks the 5th anniversary of City of Hope's partnership with the Pink Patch Project. In that time, you have helped raise more than $1 million for breast cancer research. That's a remarkable achievement. Your work for the Pink Patch Project exemplifies what it means to be part of a community, to care for others in ways that are not required by a job description, to work towards a common goal, and to achieve something that is far greater than what could be achieved alone. We're truly grateful to be the beneficiaries of your hard work. As you know, cancer does not stop because of COVID-19, and neither has City of Hope. The priorities that define us, groundbreaking science and an unwavering commitment to patient care, also enable us to meet the challenges of COVID-19. Every day, we apply the tools of discovery and innovation to help patients beat cancer. Your support helps make sure that nothing, not even a pandemic, can change that. Despite these uncertain times, I'm more optimistic than ever about the future of cancer care and discovery. We remain undeterred in our resolve to find better prevention, treatments, and cures. On behalf of the patients and families we serve, I thank you for being our partner in the journey to eradicate cancer. Together, we will impact lives across the globe and across generations.
Hi, my name is Anthony Miranda. I'm the police chief for the city of Vernon. I'm joined today by Chief Scott Fairfield from the Bell Gardens Police Department and Captain Darren Arakawa from the Southgate Police Department. We represent the steering committee for the Pink Patch Project on behalf of the Los Angeles County Police Chiefs Association. We are proud today to be present at the City of Hope to present a check for $275,000 that will help drive education, treatment, and research. We're very grateful for our partners near and far, both nationally and internationally. We know 2020 was difficult, but you all still made it happen. Thank you for your hard work and effort. We will see you in 2021.
My name is Catherine Schultz Costello, and I'm a breast surgeon at City of Hope. We are so thankful and want to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone at the Pink Patch Project on behalf of myself, from all the physicians, from our nurses, and from our patients. On average, every 2 minutes, a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer in the United States. It's the most common cancer other than skin cancer, and it affects 1 in 8 women. The good news is that most of the cancers are caught before they have spread, and now there's 3.5 million breast cancer survivors in our country. We've treated many of them right here at City of Hope. Our breast cancer program is recognized as one of the top in the nation. We have expertise in minimally invasive breast surgeries, and then we do a lot of combining cancer removal with reconstruction in one operation. But the support of the Pink Patch Project has helped fund critical research, not only for our patients, but then patients globally. This vital research includes a trial that City of Hope did with CAR T-cell therapy in patients with HER2 positive breast cancer that has spread to their brain. And City of Hope was one of the first sites to successfully administer this therapy. Our scientists have also developed 2 potent molecules that appear to stop tumor growth in multiple cancers, including breast cancer, when other treatments just stop working. It's really because of your generosity through the Pink Patch Project that our researchers and scientists are able to further explore all of these breakthroughs and bring, the science to life and help our patients and help patients around the world. I cannot wait for an in-person gathering next year, 2021. We are so thankful and appreciative of your continued support. Thank you so, so much.
Okay, moving on to fire. Thank you, Chief Miranda. That was excellent. Thank you for sharing that video with us. And then if you have any questions about that, Chief Miranda will be available to answer any questions. Okay, on December 13th, LA County Fire responded to an ammonia leak at 2727 East Vernon Avenue. The ammonia leak into the water system used to cool the food, and the cause was determined to be damaged plumbing. The cooling unit outside the building leaked into the water system. The estimated loss was around $15,000, and no items or food were destroyed. Plumbing and cooling system damage resulting in expensive and non-consumer repair. So there were no injuries also reported with this ammonia leak. Vernon Health Department did respond and was in communication with the incident command and approved all actions and turned over the building to management. Cal OSHA was also notified and provided entry. No other departments had any updates except for city clerk. The nomination period for city clerk, April 13th, 2020 general municipal election begins on Monday, December 21st. Interested persons must make an appointment with the city clerk. The nomination period runs through January 25th, 2021. This year's ugly holiday sweater contest is on after all, thank goodness. Since many employees are working remotely or on working in a combination of remote and offsite work, we will have a virtual ugly sweater contest. Just take a photo of yourself wearing your ugly sweater and submit for the contest. Contact city admin staff with any questions. As a reminder, city's holiday outreach events are happening tomorrow, December 16th, and we look forward to seeing you there. Again, for city council members, we will have PPE available for you. If you do require an additional higher level mask, we will have that available. We do have face shields that were put on your desk, and you do have hand sanitizer as well. Please join us tomorrow for a grab and go lunch. It should start somewhere around noon. The soccer ball donation event begins at 12 p.m. with the family giveaways around 3. And then we will finish off the evening with resident toy giveaways and a light show at 5:30 p.m. Chief Miranda, do you want to add anything to this?
No, Carlos, you hit all the points, and we look forward to a great event. We're going to make the best, and it's going to be real nice for our kids. Thank you.
The next city's Green Vernon Commission meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, December 16th at 3:30 p.m. And then finally, I would like to wish everyone happy holidays. Please celebrate safely and do your part to continue to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. Looking forward to 2021. Consider all the consequences of gathering in large groups with multiple households when planning seasonal events. Let's remember that COVID-19 continues to threaten our health and our families' health, as well as friends and coworkers. A new year is upon us and it's on the horizon. We see it coming, and we will see you all tomorrow. And then after that, I think our next city council meeting will be next year in 2021 in January. That's all I have.
Thank you. Are there any reports from council? Okay, we will now go on to closed session for agenda item number 11.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays. Thank you for
Happy
joining.
holiday.
Happy holidays.
There's a separate link for closed session, which I'll host. So just give me a couple minutes and I'll bring it back up.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.